for tuning in last week. Last week we had a repeat edition. As you know, from time to time, some of our viewers ask that we repeat one of the editions. They want to get a bit more juice out of it, and so we do that. We just check which editions are most popular, most valuable, and then we repeat them. So today I want to thank you for coming along today, and of course, Happy International Women's Day! Yay! I want to shout out to all the women I know who are on the grind, women I know who are raising kids all by themselves, two people doing one person doing two people's job. Keep going, hard as it may be, just keep going. I want to give a shout out to all the women who may have fallen down one way or the other along the road. Don't worry, get up, keep going. I'm going to give a special shout out to particular women, particular female entrepreneurs later in the show, but today I want us to look at something very important. Now, many of our businesses are small and eventually they die, and this is because we don't understand the importance of building teams. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, your business can go no further than the caliber and the ability of the team that you build. I'm going to say that again because I think it's really important. Your business can go no further than the caliber and the ability of the teams that you build. So first of all, if you're not even building a team, then as far as I'm concerned, you are resigned to not really building a business. Your business will remain a side hustle. But if you're serious about building about growing and being successful as an entrepreneur, you must start thinking about building a team. You cannot do it all by yourself. The day of each one doing every little thing in their little corner of the world all by themselves, that day is gone and you can't do it. So you need to be able to build a team. So today I thought I'd start a new series, and it's called How to Build Great Teams, or How to Build Successful Teams for your business. Either one's fine. So let's have a look at what you need to do. First of all, how do you spot potential team players or your team members? How do you spot them? How do you recognize them? How do you attract them? And then how do you retain them? These are the things that you need to be looking at. How do you spot them? How do you attract them? How do you retain them to stop them from being poached by somebody else? How do you do that? So today we're going to be looking at the recruitment process. Later on, as the series progresses, we're going to be looking at how to build a power team, things like that. But today I want us to start at the very beginning. It's the best place to start. We're going to start at the very beginning, and that is looking at the recruitment process. How do you recruit your staff? Let's deal with that. Because if you miss it at that level, you're going to miss it all the way through. You cannot afford to make a mistake in your recruitment process. So the first thing that you need to do, even before you start recruiting others, is you must have a clear vision and mission for your business. You must have a clear vision and mission for your business. Where is it that you want this business to go? Do you want to have a local business? And there's nothing wrong in having just a local business. Do you want to have a national business? And of course, there's nothing wrong in having a national business. Or do you want to have an international business? Or do you want to go global? Each level or each vision you have for your business will depend upon the kind of people that you recruit, but also it will determine the kind of people that you attract. So what kind of business do you want? Do you want a small business? And again, there's nothing wrong in having a small business. Do you want a small business, or do you want to build a franchise? Do you want to build a conglomerate, a multinational? What is it that you are trying to do? And more importantly, what is the mission? How is it that you are going to achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve? How? So these are all the things that you need to be looking at. So, because that will concentrate your mind as to who you need to attract to fulfill your vision. So that you make sure that the people that you interview for a position in your company, they are aligned with your vision. Because if you recruit staff who are not aligned with your vision, what happens is that in the end, they sabotage your business. They sabotage your company. So you need to make sure that you are recruiting the right kind of people. So if you have no clear vision, like they say, if you have no clear vision and you're going somewhere, anywhere you end up will seem like a destination. So for instance, if you have no clear vision, if your business is earning 20,000 a year, you will think you have a successful business. Whereas perhaps your company has the potential to make 100,000 a year. And if it's the case, then you know that what you're looking for is more important, and you know what to reject. You know the kind of people you're looking for who can take you to 100,000 a year. They're not the same kind of people that can just take you to 25,000. And so you know the kind of people that you're trying to attract, what kind of skill set they have, what kind of experience they have, and then you build it from there. Okay. Now, if you are recruiting young people, they want to know this stuff. They want to know what purpose they are serving by joining your company. It's really important. So they want to know what you're about, what it is you're trying to achieve, where it is you're going, so that they know whether they want to join with your vision. Well, they want to align themselves with your vision. This is really important to young people. They are now asking human questions. What is it that I'm going to be doing in this company? Who is it going to be benefiting? Is it just going to be about profit margin? Or is it going to be serving a higher purpose? Those kind of things. Is it going to be making the world a better place? These kind of questions are the kind of questions that young people in particular are asking now, and you have to be able to answer. So let's start from the CV. Let's start from the CV. Now, when you're looking at the CV of potential candidates, what you're looking at is, how is this CV tailored to the job that they are applying for? Is it just a general, bland CV? Or is the CV tailored towards the person spec that you are applying for? Is it tailored towards them? Towards that? Is it tailored towards the job description that you have put out? Is it tailored towards that? Or is it just a general job CV that could be relevant to practically any job under the sun? These are the kind of things that you need to look at. Then I look at, actually let me talk about some of the things that I look at that maybe you might need to look at as well. I then look at how aesthetically appealing is the CV. Does it look good? Have they taken the time to design it with just that little bit extra care? I remember looking at a particular CV, and man, I was so blown away by the design of the CV that I wanted to meet the person who had designed it. Now, it might have been that they outsourced it, I don't know. Doesn't matter, but the important thing is that they took the time to ensure that it was a great CV. So how aesthetically appealing is it? How do they stand out? I saw a CV recently, and oh my, the applicant had cut and pasted certain words, in fact, certain chunks of some other CV. Perhaps they'd looked at something online and they told them this is an example of an ideal CV or something like that. But they cut and pasted from another CV, and they'd done it word for word in such a way that it was obvious to me that they had cut and pasted. So for instance, when everything in the CV was in the first person, as indeed it should be, but when it came to this particular body of the CV, it was in the third person. So they hadn't even bothered to change it so that it was now in the first person. They left it in the third person. And so things like that, they say something to you. It says to you that the person is lazy. 2, that they are careless. 3, that their proofreading skills are poor. All those kind of things. It is in little things that you know how somebody is going to behave in big things or in important things. So those kind of things are a telltale for me. They're a warning sign, they're a red light for me that actually this person is not of the caliber of what I'm looking for. Doesn't matter how they look on paper, those kind of things are really, really important. Okay, so again, I want to say a happy International Women's Day to all the women who are listening to today. You are my heroes. Round of applause for whatever it is you're doing, whether you're raising children, whether you're hustling, whether you're on the grind, whether you're supporting a man to become successful, whether you are the CEO, whether you are the cleaner, it doesn't matter. I salute you all for the wonderful work that you are doing and making our world a better place. Okay, so for those of you who are joining us, just joining us now, and those who are joining for the first time, my name is Bebe Clement, and you are tuned into the Bebe Means Business Show. This is a show where we talk about anything and everything to do with business and entrepreneurship and wealth creation, and how you can become financially free and to be generationally wealthy, so that your children don't have to start from ground zero again. They can just build upon the foundation that you have laid in relation to wealth creation. And today I'm talking about how to build great teams, because as I said earlier, if you are not building great teams, your business is not really a business. It's not going to grow. It is going to remain a side hustle, and that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in building great businesses. Oh, okay. So we were talking about looking at the CV. So once you've looked at the CV and you've ensured that, okay, this person has some of the things that I'm looking for, this is what you should be aiming for. By the end of looking at the first page, this is what you should be looking for. So after reading the first page, you should be saying to yourself, one, this person has the skills that I require. This person has the skills that I require. So they should have listed a series of skills that align with your vision and align with the vision of the post that you are advertising. The second thing is, this person has the experience of using the skills that I require. It's not good then, like I said, going to cut and paste a series of skills that they think that you need if they cannot demonstrate that they personally have used those skills in the past. So it's not just a listing exercise. That's good, but that only gets them so far. They need to be able to demonstrate that they have actually used those skills in the past. The third thing that you should be saying to yourself by the time you finish the first page is, this person understands my requirements. This person understands my requirements. In other words, they get you. They get you. They understand what it is that you are trying to achieve, and they have been able to show you by the end of that first page that they have skills and experience that aligns with your vision. That should be very clear by reading the first page of their CV. The next thing that you should be able to say is, this person has provided benefit to previous employers using those skills. So for instance, they might say, I went on a course that improved my IT skills, and as a result of improving my IT skills or my social media skills, and as a result of improving my social media skills, I was able to increase the number of hits on our website from 50 to 250 in a month. Now that is a demonstrative way of showing that the skills that they possess that you need have been not only exercised but have improved a past employer's either bottom line or their marketing or their advertising. In some way or the other, those skills have been of use or of benefit to a former employer. And so by the end of the first page, what you should be saying to yourself is, this is the kind of person I want. That should be very clear, very evident by the end of the first page. You should be able to summarize that, having looked at their skills, having looked at their experience, having looked at how they've used these skills to benefit a former employer, this is the kind of person that I want. Then you make the decision to interview them. Okay, I'm going to take a short break here, and then when we come back, we're going to go deeper into what it is that you should be looking for when you're building a great team. Don't go away.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Bebe Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bebe Means Business Show. And today I'm looking at how to build great teams. Listen, if you don't have a great team, your business is not going to grow, it's not going to be successful. Move away from the one-man band mindset. That's not serving you well. It's not going to take you anywhere. Move away from that. You've got to build great teams, not just any team. So you don't just take anybody that walks through your door because you're desperate. You've got to build great teams. Now, we've spoken about the CV, what you should be looking at in the CV, and now we're looking at, you've made a decision that, okay, they've got enough, at least on the face of it, they've got enough for you to decide to interview them. So when you're looking at whether to interview them, you're looking at things like, are they personable? Are they personable? Now, they may be personable, but you need to bear in mind that ultimately what you need to know is, can they improve your bottom line? That's, at the end of the day, you are in business. You are in business. You're not there to make friends. You're there to make money. So can this person, with the skill set that they have shown me, can they improve my bottom line? Don't forget that. Don't forget that. So it's not a matter of you're recruiting your best friend's daughter. No, that's not what you're looking to do. It's not. You're not looking to, somebody in church needs a job, so I have a vacancy. No, you are looking to improve your bottom line. So make sure you recruit the best. Now, one of the things that you need to do is you need to look beyond their academic achievement, because academic achievement only tells half the story. Some people are very good at exams. They're just very good at taking information and passing exams. So some people are very good at exams. So that doesn't tell all the story. Now, personally, the lowest grade that I normally take is a 2-1. That's the lowest grade I normally take. But having said that, I would take someone who had a 3rd class over someone who had a 1st class if the person who had a 3rd class could show me evidence of certain skills that I need to be successful. 1, they could show me evidence of being a great team player, having great, excellent customer service skills. They come across as being innovative or able to solve problems or able to take initiative. They come across as having transferable skills. They have good presentation skills. They know how to speak well in public, that kind of thing. I would take someone who has a 3rd class and has those skills over someone who has a 1st class and doesn't have those skills any day. So you can be guided by academic achievement. You can have a bench line for academic achievement, but it should not be the deciding factor, because academic ability is not the be all and end all. The be all and end all. So you must go with your gut. Go with your gut. Go with your intuition. Go with your gut. And sometimes people don't interview well on the day, but something inside you says, actually, with a little bit of hand holding or supervising, this person could actually be a great employee. Don't ignore that gut feeling. Gut feelings are really important in business, so don't ignore that. Okay, just to let you know, as always, that this is a live show and it's an interactive program. So I want to hear your views on anything and everything that is discussed here today. If you have any tips, actually, in the whole interviewing process, then by all means, drop them for us. If you are watching on Facebook, then just drop them in the chat. If you are watching via Twitter, our Twitter handle is @StarRadioUK, or you can text or WhatsApp us on 07539 661 744. That's 07539 661 744. Or you can email us at info@StarRadioUK, info@StarRadioUK, and then we will read out your emails. Okay, so like I was saying, it's really important that when you are looking to interview somebody, that you are guided by more than just academic achievement, because that doesn't tell the whole story. Okay, look for what sets them apart. What makes this person different from all the other interviewees that I have interviewed? So some of the things that I look for when I'm interviewing: 1, how much research did they do on my company? How much research did they do? In this day and age, I think the very least that anyone can do is visit the website. If I have an interviewee who tells me that they didn't visit the website, I don't care how well they perform in interview, I don't care what they've got written on their CV, I don't care what kind of academic achievement they have, I'm not hiring them. Because it says to me that they lack, it shows or displays a lack of interest, or at worst, it shows laziness. And I don't want lazy people in my company. I don't want them in my team. I'm looking for people who are motivated, excited to work for me, and are hungry. They're hungry to move forward with their life, because if they're motivated about moving forward in their life, they will be motivated in moving my company forward, because they will use my company as a vehicle to get to where they want to go. So if you cannot be bothered to even look at the website, that tells me a whole lot about you and your level of ambition. I am not hiring you. I'm not hiring you. 2, they should be aware, as far as is in the public domain, of any major issues that relate to my company, or any restructuring that the company is going through. I'll say that again. They should have taken time to find out information, for as long as it is in the public domain, about any issues that my company is going through, good, bad, whatever. Perhaps we're downsizing, perhaps we are opening a new office, perhaps we are introducing a new product to the marketplace. Whatever it is that we're doing, they should have made themselves aware. Or any restructuring that the company is going through, they should be aware of that. What I'm looking for is people who can turn the interview into a conversation. That's what I'm looking for. Because when I was an employee, that's what I aimed to do, which is why I probably got every job that I went for interview-wise. I'm looking for those who can turn the interview into a conversation. So they should be armed with enough knowledge about my company to be able to do that. Another thing that you must do, and you must do this in this day and age, is you must check their social media. Check their social media. It will tell you a lot more about them than you will learn from them sitting in front of you. Because obviously when they're sitting in front of you, they're on their best behavior. I want to know what they do on a Friday night. So for instance, if you have a football fan, so perhaps Chelsea is their team and they love Chelsea, and every time Chelsea is playing away from home, they follow them around the country to go and play. You know that anytime Chelsea is playing away from home, your member of staff is not going to be at work. They're going to give you some kind of excuse. If they're a party goer, and there's nothing wrong in being a party goer, but if every Saturday and Sunday they are out, they're posting pictures of them falling out drunk from a club on Sunday, on the early hours of Sunday morning, then you know that on Monday morning it is likely that they're going to phone in sick because they've still got a hangover. So these are the kind of things that you need to be checking. You need to be checking. If they are expressing any kind of views on social media that don't align with your values. Some people express things like racist or sexist or homophobic views on social media. Well, if you're expressing this kind of views on social media, God bless you, but I'm trying to build a team, and I cannot have team members who have those kind of views and are confident enough to express those kind of views on social media. I don't want them in my team. So those are the kind of things that you need to be looking at, because these are really, really important, and it helps you avoid problems later down the line. They are very important, and it helps you avoid problems later down the line. Okay. Now, during the interview, you need to be watching their body language. So yes, you're listening to the words that are coming out of their mouth, but more importantly, you are watching their body language, because 70% of communication is non-verbal. So their body language will tell you a lot more than their lips will. You need to be watching that. So this includes, 1, the way they are dressed. The way they are dressed. If they can't be bothered to dress accordingly, or in line with the kind of business that I run, then I'm not going to hire them. So anybody who attends an interview looking scruffy, their shirt is not tucked in, their skirt is just a little bit too short, that would suggest to me, half my staff are going to be, watching her rather than concentrating on work. They're going to be looking at her hemline every day. Those are the kind of things that you need to be looking at. If they're wearing trainers, come on, trainers to an interview, it might work for you, doesn't work for me. I'm not even entertaining all that. You need to be looking at things like, were they confident enough to shake hands? whenever I used to go to an interview, I always used to do that. I used to shake hands, especially if it was guys interviewing me. I used to shake hands, and they always used to come back with the same comment. Wow, that's a very firm handshake you have there. It used to surprise them, but it said to them, this person is confident. Confident not only to shake hands, but confident enough to have a firm handshake that says, and the confidence says a lot about you as an employee. So those kind of things are important. Did they smile? Did they look pleased to be there? Or did they look like, well, I had to come to this job interview, otherwise my mom was going to kick me out? Did they look like they were pleased to be there? Did they look like they were happy? A sour-faced member of staff. I don't want someone who comes in and poisons the atmosphere of my office, because I generally want to build an atmosphere. My husband and I have always said we want to create a business atmosphere that we would like to go to if we were an employee, and we're committed to doing that. So I don't want someone who is constantly looking depressed, or is constantly looking like don't come near me because you will get a bad answer, or I'm going to be rude or something like that. I don't want that in my office. I don't want anybody to poison the atmosphere in my office. So those kind of things are important. What kind of eye contact did they have? Were they able to speak to you and maintain eye contact? Or were they always looking at the floor? Were they looking out the window? Did they look, disinterested? Or were they easily distracted? Or that kind of thing. You need to watch things like that. Then, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Check for things like hygiene. Did they smell good? That kind of thing. If they were running late, and sometimes, with the best of intentions, sometimes they will run late. Maybe the train was late or something like that. But if they were running late, did they bother to ring ahead and inform you and explain why? Those kind of things are important, because that shows a level of accountability. One, they didn't take you for granted. Two, that shows a level of accountability. So that that if you hire that kind of person, they will do the same thing when they're with you. If they're running late, they will do the same thing. They will call you and tell you, I'm running late and this is the reason why. Or if they're going to be absent from work, I can't come to work and this is the reason why. Did they switch off their phone? Or did their phone ring in the middle of an interview? And did they reach for it? Did they try and answer the call? That kind of thing. You'd be amazed at the kind of thing that people do at interview. You would be amazed. All right. Were they polite? I remember one particular candidate. I'll never forget her. Her whole body language said arrogance. She sat during the interview like this, with one arm over the chair, like that. And then the way she was coming across, like a know-it-all, a smarty pants. And there's a difference between confidence and arrogance. I'm looking for people who are confident. I don't have time for people who are arrogant. If you know it all, then go look for another job. Go start your own business. But I'm looking for people who are teachable. That kind of thing. So it's important. Listen to the kind of questions that they ask. Listen to the kind of questions that they ask. If they say they have no questions, I don't hire them. There's a point in the interview, after you've said everything that you say, you then say, do you have any questions about anything I've said or about the company or whatever? I never hire anybody who says, no, I have no questions. Because again, it smacks of unpreparedness and indifference and at best, a lack of confidence. How can you come for an interview and not have any questions? You should have questions about a place that you are going to spend 8 hours of your day for the foreseeable future in, who might determine where you end up in life. Of course, you should have questions. So the kind of questions that you should be listening for or looking out for are questions, of course, about the salary. How much am I going to earn? Are there opportunities to earn more? Will there be overtime? Things like that. How much will I earn during overtime? Is it the same rate? That kind of thing. Training opportunities. A candidate that asks you about training opportunities is obviously thinking about their future and their growth, their personal growth and personal progression. That's really important. That's really important. It says to me that they are aspiring to move forward. If they are aspiring to move forward, then they will aspire to move my company forward. That's guaranteed. Those are the kind of people that I'm looking for. The kind of questions, another question that they should be asking is, why did the current job holder leave, or how has this vacancy come about? That's quite important. That's quite important. I often, when I used to be an employee, I used to say, if they said, oh, the current job holder is leaving, I used to say, can I speak to the current job holder? Because sometimes the job holder is leaving because of a bad situation at work. So I always wanted to know whether I was walking into a job that was going to give me mental health issues or something like that, or stress or something like that. So I would always, as much as possible, even before I go for interview, try and find out who is the current job holder and talk to them. So those kind of questions tells you that this person is very interested in the job, very interested in the job. And those are the kind of people that you want to hire. Then you look at people like, did they take up the opportunity for feedback? So if you say to them, we always give our candidates feedback. If you want feedback, let me know. If they say something like, yeah, no, actually, I don't need it. Again, that's important, because why would you not want feedback? Especially if you don't get the job. You should want to know why you didn't get the job, what you could have done better, that kind of thing. So it's important. Things like, after the interview, did they send you something to say thank you? Thank you for the interview. Or did they thank you for your time at the end of the interview? I always used to do that. Thank you for your time. Or send a message to the interviewers after the interviews. Thank you for interviewing me. I really would like this job. I know that I could bring a lot to the table, blah, blah, blah. That I think I'd be a good fit. That says that the person, is hungry for the position. It says, particularly by way of feedback, it says that they are teachable, they are humble enough, and they are teachable. Those are the kind of people that you want in building your team. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another break now, and when we come back, we're going to go to our book corner. For those of you who don't know, we have a book corner where we are always trying to learn and grow from the stories and of different books that we read, of different entrepreneurs, different business books, what we can learn from them so that we can move forward and we can develop personally. Don't go away. I'll be back in a moment.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Bebe Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, Bebe Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need.
And for those of you who are just joining us, today we're talking about how to build great teams. That's what we were speaking about earlier on today. And today we've finished looking at the richest man in Babylon. We're not doing richest man in Babylon anymore. Today we're looking at the Jewish phenomenon. The Jewish phenomenon. We're starting a new book called The Jewish Phenomenon. 7 Keys to Enduring Wealth of a People. And this book was written by Stephen Silbiger. That's it, The Jewish Phenomenon. Listen, guys, you need to go and get this book. You can get it on Amazon. You need to get this book. I've read this book several times. And for those of you who know me, I'm fascinated by the Jews. I really am, and their ability to create wealth. And so this book opened my eyes greatly to some of the reasons why the Jews are so good with money, and despite being such a small group of people, actually there are less than 4 million Jews in America, yet they control a large and disproportionate amount of wealth globally. So we're going to have a quick look at some of the reasons why that is, and I'm looking at the 7 keys to Jewish success. The 7 keys to Jewish success. Number 1, they understand that real wealth is portable. It is knowledge. They understand that real wealth is portable. It is knowledge. So their wealth is tied up in knowledge. So they do everything possible to gather knowledge. to make sure that they're financially literate, they understand economics, they understand how economies work, they understand how businesses work. And one of the things that Rabbi Lapin, for those of you who didn't tune in to the episode that we had last year with Rabbi Daniel Lapin on the show, he told us that most Jewish families talk about money to their children at the dinner table. Something that the majority of us don't do. So if you have never done this, can I encourage you to do it? Spend time with your children. It might not necessarily be at the dinner table, but spend time with your children discussing money. This is how you become generationally wealthy. Because a lot of us are on the grind all the time, and we don't teach our children how to make money. And so when we die, our children are none the wiser, and they have to start all over again. If you give money or you leave wealth to a child who is financially illiterate, they will lose the money. They will squander the wealth. You must educate your children financially. So get as much knowledge as possible. Attend seminars, attend webinars, keep listening to the Bebe Means Business Show, that kind of thing. Which reminds me, during the break, my producers put a flyer there about a women's networking group that I'm having on Saturday. If you haven't booked up or you haven't registered for that, listen, I don't know what you're waiting for. The last networking event we had was fantastic. Thank you very much, Archie. Yes, Women in Business Networking Breakfast. For those of you who are in the UK, you need to come along to this. And this is an in-person event. It's time for you, for those of you who haven't been to any events post-COVID, this is the time to get out there and start networking again. All right, all the details regarding this are on my website, so just go to my website, www.bbclement.com, and you can register £25. A wealth of opportunity. You make new contacts, and you get to promote your own products and services. So come along to that. Okay, so the first key was to Jewish success was understand that real wealth is possible. It is knowledge. The second thing is take care of your own, and they will take care of you. Wow. This is definitely something the black community needs to learn. If you take care of your own, they will take care of you. If you take care of your own community, your community will too. So this is why they say that I think the Jewish pound passes, I think it's 11 hands, passes around the Jewish community, I think it's 11 times, before it leaves the Jewish community. What that means is that if there is a Jewish plumber, they will hire a Jewish plumber. If there is a Jewish electrician, they will hire a Jewish electrician. They will not let that money go outside their community. Please, the black community, take note. We must begin to keep that wealth within our community. If you take care of your own, they will take care of you. Then the third key is that successful people are professionals and entrepreneurs. Jewish people understand that. Successful people are professionals and entrepreneurs. They are not employees. They are not employees. They are professionals and entrepreneurs. So they're not low-level employees. So you need to ensure that you are at least a high-level professional, or you own your own business. You own your own business. They are selectively extravagant, but prudently frugal. I love that. Selectively extravagant, but prudently frugal. In other words, they don't spend large amounts of money on rubbish. They spend, they're happy to spend their money, but they spend their money on things that matter, things that increase in value. They spend their money on assets. They don't care how much it's going to cost them if it is an asset. So they don't care how much it's going to cost them to acquire knowledge. If it costs them $5,000 to attend a seminar, so they're going to acquire knowledge, and that knowledge is going to enable them to produce more wealth, then they'll pay for it. They're prudently frugal. They do not waste money on things that do not matter. Again, note to my brothers and sisters in my community. They don't spend money on lavish parties attended by people that don't like you and don't know you. They don't spend money on funerals of people who have died. They don't spend money on driving big cars that they can't afford. They don't spend money on designer clothing that they can't afford. They are selectively extravagant and prudently frugal. This is a good time for you to look at your spending habits. Have you got it twisted? Have you got it the other way around? Are you extravagant on things that don't matter and frugal on things that do? And I'm a speaker, so I do a lot of seminars, wealth creation seminars and things like that. It is amazing to me that my brothers and sisters in my community will not spend 100, 150 pounds on a seminar that will change their life, change their financial situation, but have no hesitation spending 500 pounds on lace or 500 pounds on a pair of shoes and bag. It is amazing to me. So this might be our wake-up call. They take pride in individuality. They encourage creativity. They take pride in individuality and they encourage creativity. Wow. Wow. They encourage creativity. What are you encouraging your child to do? Must your child study law, engineering, be a doctor? Listen, that day is gone. That day is gone. The world doesn't need all that anymore. I'm not saying we don't need doctors, but I'm telling you, with the continuous assault and affront of AI, in a few years' time, the world is not going to need all that. I was watching something online the other day, and this robot performed this surgery, this very serious surgery, from beginning to end. Not a single human being was involved. It was a robot. So in a few years' time, your medical degree might be worth nothing. I know for a definite that the legal profession, oh my God, practically everything is going to be done by AI. So are you raising young adults and encouraging their individuality? Recognize that God has given them specific gifts. Let those gifts flourish. Let them flourish, ladies and gentlemen. Let them be creative. If they're comedians, let them be comedians. If they're always making people laugh, let them be comedians. Don't force a comedian to become a lawyer. If they're good at fashion, if they're good at dressing you and they coordinate, let them do fashion. They don't have to be something just to satisfy your ego. Let them be who God created them to be. And this is a wake-up call for those of you who are trapped in a job or trapped in a profession that you know that is not who you are at your core. Listen, life is very short, and you don't have enough time to be doing something other than what you are called to be and do. You don't have enough time. Rip it up. Walk away from anything that you are doing that is not who you are at your core. Walk away and stop wasting your time and your life. You cannot be happy living somebody else's life. Do what you are called to do and the money will follow. Do what you are called to do and the money will follow. And lastly, be psychologically driven to prove something. Wow. Jewish people are psychologically driven to prove something. What are you setting out to prove? What have you set out to prove? I want to prove that it doesn't matter that you're a woman. It doesn't matter that you're black. It doesn't matter that you're middle-aged. You can still be successful. You can still be successful. It doesn't matter that you're in another man's country. You can be successful. What is it that you've set out to prove? And it can even be something negative that you're trying to prove. That's fine. Maybe you want to prove to your ex-husband that you're not the useless woman that he told you that you were. And you're going to make sure that you prove that through building a successful business. Maybe you want to tell your father who told you you are useless and you will never amount to anything, or that teacher who told you you are dumb, that actually you're not dumb. You do have a brain, and you will prove it by being successful and creating wealth. What is it that you have set out to prove? Maybe you need to prove something to yourself. Maybe you have listened to the voice in your head that says you are not good enough. You will never make it. You can't be successful. You need to prove to yourself that that's a lie. That's a lie from the pit of hell. I'm just as equipped as Richard Branson. I'm just as smart as Oprah Winfrey. There's no reason why I cannot do what I set out to do in my life. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for listening in to the Book Corner. We will continue with that book next week. So I wanted to spend the rest of the day, because it's International Women's Week, International Women's Day, I wanted to spend the rest of the show giving a shout out to the successful women that I know who are doing something worthwhile in the area of entrepreneurship and wealth creation. So I just want to say that I see you, and I humbly acknowledge you, and I honor you, and I thank you for the impact that you are making in your little corner of the world. Number one, Sandra Ramsey Nicole, who has been on this show before, who is the CEO of MockTestMasters.com. Sandra, I want to thank you. I salute you. Thank you for all the things that you've taught me over the years. This is a serial entrepreneur. She's brilliant at what she does. Everything she just touches just turns to gold. So I want to salute you. Thank you for being an amazing woman. Happy International Women's Day. Yemi Jackson, CEO of Engage Transform. I salute you and the amazing work that you are doing in getting black people in the UK into senior positions in the marketplace, senior positions and on boards in the marketplace. Thank you so much for the work that you are doing and the impact that you're making and the attention that you are drawing to your cause. Thank you. We see you. We salute you. Joyce Matarego, who does Mind on Your Money. She's educating people about finances. I see you. I salute you. Well done, girl. We're waiting for that book. We're waiting for that book and all the work that you do. Bimbola Osage, who we've also had on the show. Property Magnate Extraordinaire. Well done. Thank you for educating all the people that you're educating about how to become wealthy through property. Thank you for creating opportunities for people who don't have hundreds of thousands of pounds to get on the property market and become property owners. Thank you for the work that you are doing. I salute you. Dee Lana, founder of Sweet Women Networking Group. I see you. I salute you. Very, very proud of you. Thank you for all the work that you do. Tony Onabo, who has also been on the show, CEO of Heritage Publishing. Thank you for all the work that you're doing in helping people publish their own books and helping them get their books out there, for giving them a voice, for enabling them to speak to the world. Tony Onabo, I salute you. Patricia Henry Divine, who is the CEO of International Center for Protocol and Diplomacy. Wow, girl, I salute you and the amazing work that you are doing in that space. Thank you. Sally Bambara of Sally Kids Nursery, who owns one of the few bilingual nurseries in London. I salute you. Well done for the work that you're doing, and congratulations on the new African clothing line for children that you have. Well done. I wish you every success with that. Laura Awashile, who has just started a company, a consultancy advising parents on how to get their children into the best schools. Her children have got into the best schools in the world, and now she has turned her experience into a business and is now teaching other parents on how to get your children into Cambridge, into Oxford. Laura Awashile, I salute you. Thank you so much. The work that you are doing is crucial, is vital. Thank you so much for doing that. Annette Isibo, who takes care of our mental health. She's also been on the show. She was speaking about how entrepreneurs can protect their mental health. Thank you so much for the work that you do, all the counseling that you do. So grateful to you. Personally, so grateful to you. Well done, girl. Sean Daniels, Nadine Hagan, Chichi Debois, Temi Collier-Wall, of the Managing Director of Business First Steps. Girl, well done. I've watched you over the years and all the work that you have done. Well done. Well done. Cynthia Akinsoyan, CEO of Delight Cakes. Well done. Thank you. Ngozi Okure, who we had on the show a couple of weeks ago, who's educating young people on how to create wealth. If you go to YouTube, you will see all the amazing content that she's put on YouTube. Eunice Onyema, Managing Director of ENO Accountants. Well done. Mavis Amankwa, my sister, I greet you. I salute you. Well done. Well done. She has been at the forefront of the struggle in the UK for black businesses for years. I salute you. Well done. Caroline Pupola, Tayo Ekwefa, who is the managing director of Enswell Party Services. She is amazing at what she does. She does all these parties for children, her catering services, everything. Amazing woman. Taya Pepper, I greet you. Thank you so much for the amazing work that you do. Zina Arinze, hey girl, shout out to you. Zina Arinze, she helps women get up off their feet after divorce. She shows them that life does not end just because a man walks out the door. Thank you so much, Zina, for the work that you do. Michelle Raymond, hey, Managing Director of the People's Partner. Thank you for the work that you do in the HR space and business consultancy. Ayuche Graphics. Ayuche is based in Nigeria. She does all my flyers. If you've ever seen any of my flyers and you like them, that is the woman who does them. Brilliant. Absolutely woman. Absolutely brilliant woman. She does the turnaround of my flyers is so quick, and she always does them well. She always cooperates with the client. She understands exactly what the client needs to do. Amazing woman. Ayuche, I salute you. Remy Ayala, who we also had on the show, she specializes, she's a lawyer, she specializes in helping people protect their wealth. She protects their wealth through setting up trusts and helping you draft a will that will preserve your wealth. Listen, there's no point in building wealth if you're not going to be able to preserve it. She teaches us how to preserve it legally, so that you can preserve it for generations to come. Many of us lose our wealth, not because we didn't work hard, but we don't know how to protect it. She helps us to do that. Lisa Critchlow, who does branded clothing, I salute you. Han Clement. Han Clement is my fashion designer. If you've ever seen me wear Nigerian clothing, all my clothing is sold by Han Clement of Oz Fashions. She's the CEO of Oz Fashions. She's based in Surulere in Lagos, Nigeria. She's amazing. Thank you so much for making me look good over all these years. I salute you. Well done. To every woman listening in today, thank you so much for everything you do, for being great mothers, amazing wives, badass entrepreneurs. I salute you. Thank you so much. Tune in again this time next week, and I'll be here again to show you how to create wealth, build that business, and to be a success. Have a great week. Stay safe. As I always say, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Bebe Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, Bebe